Hello, everyone. I'm the movie guru, and it's a great time to be a From fan. And today I have a very special guest on my show talking about Fromville and all the behind the scenes action. Please help me welcome to the show Angela Moore.
Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
Angela.
Hi there.
This is
How you
great to
doing?
talk to you. Season three just came out, and we're really excited. We're really excited to see your character, and I'm really excited to talk to you.
hmm I'm excited to talk to you too as well. I've been watching your show.
Well, thank you very much. From really changed a lot for me as far as being interested in the show. I take the name Movie Guru serious, so I was trying to find something that I really was into and liked, and From really just brought it out to me.
Well, that's fantastic.
So, for those who don't know, Angela Moore plays Bacta, and she's currently a series regular on the show From, and it just started its third season. Now, she has been a professional actress for more than 25 years, stemming from film, TV, and theater. Now, originally born in
hmm
London, England, across the pond, the acting bug hit when she joined the theater program at New York University, where she spent 2 years, and then she went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about your character on From, and then I wanted to talk a little bit about your journey in acting. And so the character's name, I think, is one that sticks out a lot.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, is it coincidental or was it purposeful with you having a background being a devout Buddhist?
Oh, I think that was by accident.
Mm,
I actually asked John Griffin about the name Bhakta because initially it's an unusual name, so I thought it was African or I don't know, like Middle Eastern or something like that. And so it's particularly the way that it's spelled, but there was no real connection in the way that I thought there was.
uh,
So, yeah, he didn't really help me out with that too much, right? Um, but I just sort of took it as like just sort of like an ancient name. It's more, I think, the it's more Middle Eastern, like if you spell it Bakhta. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Looking
Um,
it up, I'm a big theorist of the show From, right? The show speaks to people, and I'm one of it. And we try to spend every waking moment analyzing the characters and the names and the things, the visuals we see on screen. And that was one of it, one of them as well. Now,
yeah.
when it
I was
came
looking it
to
up. Sorry, I was looking it up, and I was trying to find out. It's more like Hindu.
Yeah, it says
Yeah.
the name is pretty much like a Hindu, but it means a devout, someone really, really
hmm
into spiritual or religion, a religious devotee or worshiper. And we're
hmm
it seemed that season one with the preacher, we were trying to connect if the show had a big religious undertone, and then when your
hmm
character stormed onto the scene in that great mystery of who was on the bus.
Everyone, please return to your seats.
Bad things are gonna happen if. Stop the goddamn boss!
Everyone on, right now. You're gonna get people killed. Do you realize that?
It really set off a lot of alarms to seeing where it could possibly go. But we were really
hmm
excited to get. I was actually really excited to see someone like you on the show. We had conversations of my comments. A lot of people shared their theories and thoughts, and it was just good to see someone else of color on the show. And I
Yeah.
know that you have a great background advocating for actors, and you sit on a couple of boards, and you bring light to the impact of racism and systematic oppression in the
Mm.
performers. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Um. Well, I'm no longer on the executive board of UBCP Actor. I served for 6 years though. I just kind of retired from that last year. Um, and I found that once elected, you have to be elected, right? That there were so many issues that had to do with my everyday life that most of my colleagues on the board had no idea.
Hmm.
And so when I started to share some of those experiences, they were surprised. And I wasn't quite sure if they really believed me or thought I was really, all that, you know, um, really critical to discuss. But after a while, bringing those things like, for example, blackfacing in stunts, that was a real eye opener to them. That had been going on, in Hollywood, for quite some time, right? So when I started to talk about those issues, they were like, "Oh, does that really happen?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it does." And it happens here. We need to have a conversation about it. And then I started to talk about, hair and makeup equity for BIPOC performers. And then that became something that we could really galvanize around. And Actor National, which is our national organization, really started to bring that to the forefront with their negotiations with the producers. So that's something that I felt, really strongly about, because those are the issues that had affected me my entire career. But I found that because often when you're working, you're the only one of color on set, at least in Canada. And so it's really hard to find support. But the more and more I talked about it and really advocated on that behalf, people would come forward with their stories, and it became more of a conversation with SAG-AFTRA and UBCP ACTRA and Actor National. And frankly, it's in the UK and in Europe as well. But the more conversations we started to have about it, the more people realized how endemic this problem was. And so now we're really starting to see changes in that area. So the craftspeople are becoming more skilled. They're using better products. They're becoming more educated so that they can work with performers of all colors equitably across the board. I started to, when I first started, I would bring my own makeup with me.
Wow.
Because I wasn't sure if that person would have my shade, or if they had the proper knowledge to mix the shade so that I could, look really well. It was a problem being lit, photographically speaking, on camera. That was also an issue as well. Not just for me. I mean, you hear about this from the actors in Hollywood as well, right? A lot of really, incredible issues. A lot of harmful things were done. And this also applies to theater as well. So this issue is quite larger than you would think. But these days, people are becoming more educated, and they're actually doing something about it. Yeah.
Well, that's great to hear. And thank you for your service, and thank you for all that you do. I think that's great of you to stand up for that and actually be a voice for so many people. So going back to the show From, Bacta is a very complex character, and we're still learning more about her every episode, and especially in season 3. And did anything take you to the role of Bacta, or how did you come about the role?
Initially, I didn't know anything about From when I auditioned for the show. And it was a rare opportunity to do this audition on Zoom at the time. And I got to meet the director, Jack Bender, who's awesome. What a lovely man. What an absolute joy it is to work with him. He is just so creative and so into what he's doing. And he really loves actors, right? And you can really feel that. He's so patient. It's just a real joy to work with him. And like I said, I hadn't seen the show. And so I just gave it my best shot, right? With what little I knew about the character, I just kind of gave it my best shot. And luckily, it worked out for me. And then I started to build sort of the backstory for myself, because we only have like one episode in season 2 where she actually talks about her past a little bit. So I just started to fill in some things about it. And the one thing that really drove me is that Bacta is a survivor.
Yes.
Right? And I kind of look upon that as a sign that, like, sort of the ancestors are kind of coming through me. And even being a survivor as a Black woman on a show is really important too, because a lot of times, Black folk get killed off.
Right, the first episode.
They sacrifice their lives to save, the number one character or something like that, right? And so, I'm a fan of movies and television. I've been watching these, movies my whole life, sci-fi and horror, and we usually get killed off, right? Yeah. So I thought, okay, Bacta's gonna survive, right? She survived Hurricane Katrina. She's going to survive this township, in front.
Yeah.
She's going to make her way. So when we see her, she's a little bit gruff and a little bit surly. She's trying to just get out of there, right? And she comes across Donna, and she's like, who is this woman trying to tell me how to run my bus?
Yeah, right.
And my passengers. Who is she, right? But I think this season, you see kind of a different side. She's seen some pretty horrible things. She's heard some horrible things by now. And I think the realization that she's going to be in this town for a little bit, not sure. But she's just trying to survive and find her place, right? She's in Colony House, which is a bunch of characters, if you haven't seen, right? And even I remember meeting someone who was playing a background performer, and he was like, hey, come up to Colony House, we got the good drugs. And I was like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into, right? And so Bacta's like, okay, who are these people? I mean, Dale was trying to kick us out. Yeah. Right? He didn't want us there. And so she has to kind of live in that circumstance. This season, I think you see a different side to her. She's missing her family. She's missing her son. And when she has a conversation with Ethan, I think that really brings out that nurturing side of her. And so we get to see a softer side this season. Yeah.
I was really happy to see that, just like you said, when she walks into the diner and she talks to Kenny, and I've been seeing more of the role, like you said, that she's filling. And that was one of my questions, because when you look at the show, it seems like everybody has a specific task, right? You've got Willie the sheriff, you got Christy the nurse, and you kind of answered it, but maybe I'll ask again, what role do you think the character Bacta plays on the show?
Well, I can't. I don't think I can really tell you quite yet, because it hasn't aired. You were trying to trick me there, weren't you? So I don't want to reveal that before the rest of the fans have a chance to see that. So but you're right.
We could tell
she's trying to find her place.
Something's coming. Yeah, we could tell something's coming, because a lot of people were really nervous not seeing Bacta in the trailer, right? I mean, there was two people they were looking for. They were looking for Tilly, and they're looking for Bacta, and it wasn't that they didn't think you would be there. They wanted to know what you were up to, because they're like, if you don't see him, that means that there's something going on, and there could be revealing something, And so we were really eager to find out what she was up to, and then we see her taking over the kitchen. Now, I did a video talking about I call it the kitchen, but the diner, right? That a lot of big things have been revealed in the diner, right? And a lot of the change course correction of the show was revealed in the diner. And we saw, Bacta come over and reopen the diner. And I wanted to ask you, how important is the diner in the series?
Well, it's a home base, right? Colony House. It's a second home where people gather. They go for sustenance. They go for community, right? I don't know if you have a favorite place that you like to go to, to have a meal. And when you go regularly, you kind of feel like a part of everything, right? It's a community spot. That's where people tend to gather, right? In churches and community halls and diners. And so it's a bit of a place to sort of touch base. So I think, even in some of the artwork, the diner is a huge thing. And when I first arrived to the From, I came to the exterior set, and I get out of the minivan, and I'm like, wow, look at this cool diner, right? So a lot goes on there.
Yeah, definitely a lot goes on in the diners. And a big part of the show, like you talked about, was the food, right? We've seen everything from pancakes to, coffee, tea. And so do you think Bacta will be adding anything specific to the diner? And I wanted to ask you, what would you do if they added like bananas or any type of banana bread?
Well, you just said it, right? Actually, that is the one thing I know how to make is banana bread. the one thing I definitely do. I occasionally, do that myself. I actually don't like bananas.
Is it a fear? You think the creatures are going to conjure that up? Because they seem to be playing on the fears, huh?
Well, I don't know. I mean, food is really personal. It's very comforting, right? And so
Yeah.
you want to, Tian Chen was famous for her pancakes. I don't know if I could, ever top that.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I was with everybody else. You see, I actually haven't seen past episode 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm watching it along with everybody
With
else.
everybody else, okay, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the show is so great like that. I think it is great to see it unfold in real time, especially with the online community, the Frumly. And I know that the show does a lot of live tweets and live streams, and just how have you felt in the connection with the Frumly? How has the Frumly been treating you?
I didn't think I had a true appreciation for the Frumly until this past season while I was shooting in Halifax. I mean, I'm not a real big social media person, to tell you the truth. I learned a lot this year. It takes me like half an hour to make a post. You know what I mean? Like it's really kind of hard for me. And I started to occasionally engage with someone, on my IG. But I really didn't think anyone started paying that much attention to me, or I don't think I really understood the fervor and the enthusiasm of the Frumly fans. I really didn't think I understood that at all. I found out later.
Yeah, take
Right?
it seriously.
Yeah, I really hadn't. I just, I guess I was never that type of a fan myself. And so I didn't really understand that people like all over the world. I'm now getting messages from Iran. I'm getting messages from South America, Europe, people who are just found the show and are just looking to make contact with someone from the show, right? And I know what that's like. You want to be a fan, you want someone to say hi to you or whatever. But I don't think I truly appreciated the Frumly gang until just recently. Right? Now I'm like, oh, I have to be really careful with what I say. Because they really take it with,
Every
it's
word,
everything.
every
I did
message
not
you're looking
realize
at.
that. Yeah, I honestly didn't. I just figured, who cares if I say this, right? Who's paying attention? But they are.
Mhm.
So I'm more likely to just kind of look on fan sites every now and again.
Mhm.
I won't comment. I'll lurk just because I'm interested in how people are receiving the show. And I find it really interesting. They come up with all these theories and what does this mean and what does that mean, and I find that really interesting. So I'm learning a lot about the power and the passion of the Frumly
Mhm.
gang. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, beloved characters, beloved stories. I think we want everybody to make it out of there, and so we're definitely pulling for everybody. Now,
Especially Bata.
yes, especially Bata. We want her to get back in that bus and drive the whole group out of there.
Yeah, well, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? I don't know. I do not, I don't think that's all going to be wrapped up anytime soon. In season 3, as you probably watched the episodes already, haven't you? So I think there's just a lot of surprises that you're going to see upcoming, and of course, still that bit of horror. What's going to go on? Is Boyd going to capture one of these creatures? How does Jade react to all of the sort of hallucinations and mysteries? So I'm really eager to tune in week by week and discover it with y'all. I really am. I haven't seen. I mean, I know what happens, but once all the editing and everything is put together, I'm watching it with the fans.
So, if you don't know, I kind of started something different with From, right? Because now From is getting a lot of coverage. There's a lot of people doing reviews, and I try to bring something different to the YouTube space. So one thing that I'm doing is a From trivia. And I wanted to ask if you would be a contestant to maybe do a couple questions on my From trivia.
Of course it would. I think I would be terrible. I don't remember anything. Anyone who knows me knows that yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't remember. I'm very much an in the moment person, but I will do my best.
Okay, so go ahead, pick a category and pick one question.
Hmm. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna pick Boyd for 200.
Okay, Boyd for 200. Where was Boyd coming from before being lost in Fromville?
Oh my gosh, see, that's going way back. He was. I have no idea.
Well,
I
I can give you a hint.
okay. Good. Give me a hint.
It's somewhere on the East Coast in an area like they call the DMV. So DMV is three states. It's either Delaware, Maryland, or
Oh,
Virginia.
He was coming from Maryland.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Close. He was last
Oh,
seen in St. Petersburg, Virginia.
North Carolina. Oh, see, why did I pick that one? That was like from season 1, and I came on season 2.
Hmm.
Rats.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Give me another question. Is that it?
Okay. No, we can do another one. Go ahead, pick another
We
category.
we didn't have Epics in Canada,
Oh, okay.
so yeah. So I didn't actually watch it until like I think I saw it when I first got to town, and that was it. Okay, so I'm gonna pick. Oh my gosh. Oh, see, season 1, I'm no good. Okay, season 3. Season 3 for 600.
Okay.
Or episode 3 for 600.
Yeah,
Yeah.
episode 3, season 3 for 600. Okay.
Okay.
What did Victor dig up from behind the colony house?
The suitcase.
It is correct. It is a suitcase.
Yeah.
It was the suitcase. It was the suitcase.
Okay. That one
You
I
want to do
knew.
another one?
Okay. Okay. I better stick with what I know. So I'm gonna go episode 3, 1000.
Okay, this is a big money question.
Big money, big money.
Who did Henry say his wife Miranda wanted to be close to her? Or I should say what? It should say what did Henry say his wife Miranda want to be close to her?
What did Henry say to his wife Miranda?
Now this was when
Oh,
Tabitha and Henry were talking in the back of the
yeah.
house.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And he was
Oh
kind
my
of
goodness.
explaining what they were looking at. And he would say, yeah, Miranda said she wanted this to be close.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't remember. I remember her like they were taking like they took hits of acid, right?
Yeah, right. They
And
were tripping.
yeah, and so they were tripping, and I remember that part. I literally just saw this
I'll
like
give you a
2 months
hint.
ago.
It's outside and it's in the yard.
The bottle tree.
The bottle tree. That is correct.
Yeah,
The
okay.
bottle
I
tree.
was thinking something smaller, right? And then they went to see the other they were going to go to the park, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
See what I
Yep.
mean about me not remembering? But I mean, that's why I picked the recent stuff. Season 1, I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you
Yeah.
very much. Yeah, like I said, From has a lot of things on there to explore, and I felt like one of the best ways to sort of present the information in a new and fun way was to do like a trivia. So thank you very
I
much
love it. I
for
love
sharing.
it. I love it. I wish I had a prize. I wish I had a prize. Oh my goodness. You gotta start giving
You-
away some prizes. So they better start creating some swag
yeah.
for the fans. I get
Yeah.
hit up a lot for that.
Hmm. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people
Okay.
creating their own talismans. I don't know if you've seen that.
Talisman, yeah. I
Mhm.
don't have one. Someone
Yeah.
asked me if I could take do I take anything home from the set, and I was like, no.
Mhm.
No, I don't. So I don't have a lot. And I wish I could give you something, but I actually don't have
Mhm.
much to give you.
Well,
I'm
last
keeping it.
question. Last question. What do you hope for your character?
Hmm. I think for my character, I would love to see her. I think I would just love to do a scene with Donna.
Hmm.
or Boyd, which may happen. But I think I really love that energy. Like, who doesn't love Donna,
Yeah.
right? And on our downtime, I actually went axe throwing.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, I would love to go axe throwing with Donna, like, have her back, and I'd be like, hand me that axe. Come on, right?
Yeah.
I think, I'm going to work on my axe skills.
Okay.
I think that would be so much fun.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, thank you very much for doing this interview. It was great talking to you.
Nice meeting you too, Evan.
And look, I always say this to all the guests because From is such a great show and we all resonate so well with it. Thank you for your character and bringing her to life. And thank you for what you bring to the screen in our favorite show.
Many blessings. Enjoy the show. And remember, every episode, I'm going to be like every week. I might be a little bit late. I might not get to it on Sundays, but I'm going to be there.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to be there.
Thanks.
So no spoilers for me either. Okay. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.